Morning. My name is Jenita McGowan. I'm the Chief of Sustainability for the City of Cleveland. I want to reiterate the Mayor's welcome to our 6th Annual Sustainability Summit, which we have a subtitle of A Whole Community on the Move, Accelerating and Scaling Up. Sustainable Cleveland is a community of people working together to reshape Cleveland into a vibrant and livable city with thriving businesses and a flourishing natural environment. Sustainable Cleveland is also a resource that provides information and actionable tools so you can make smart, sustainable decisions at home, at work, and in your community. Sustainable Cleveland is a 10-year initiative that engages people from all walks of life to work together to design and develop a thriving and resilient Cleveland region that leverages its wealth of assets to build economic, social, and environmental well-being for all. Sorry, that huge globe is distracting me. We have to thank Tri-C for lending us the earth for our summit, looming over the pipe and drape back there. The vision of Sustainable Cleveland is that Cleveland will surprise, amaze, and inspire the world with its transformation to a bright green city on a blue lake. Determined people from every walk of life will work together to shape vibrant, livable communities, innovative businesses, and a flourishing natural environment that will result in health, wealth, creativity, and economic opportunities for all. The vision, or the values of Sustainable Cleveland, are one of my favorite parts of this initiative. Sustainable Cleveland is dynamic and cumulative. It combines a sense of urgency for action with positivity and kindness. It's inclusive, accessible, and welcoming. It encourages persistence, determination, courage, and boldness, and it promotes creativity, innovation, and execution. Sustainable Cleveland is organized by a series of celebration years. This year is the year of zero waste, and because of that, we have produced a zero waste primer that's in your bag. Our Zero Waste Northeast Ohio Working Group was instrumental in putting this information together for you, and I think we should give them a round of applause. They've been working very hard all year. Next year, 2015, is the year of clean water. We organize by celebration years because it helps people kind of take a bite out of sustainability. We tell people how to get involved at work, at home, and in your community. Now, we work on all of these things every year, but the celebration years really help us mobilize and ramp up around these topics pretty quickly. And you'll hear more about why this is a Zero Waste Summit in a little bit. Sustainable Cleveland is also organized by our annual sustainability summits, as you well know, and the working groups that come out of those summits. It's also organized by our Climate Action Plan, which is one of the frameworks for our community in moving sustainability forward. Inside your bag, you also have a one-pager with a little bit of a progress report about the Climate Action Plan. I'm not going to get into that today, but you're welcome to look through that. And we measure success. Measuring progress is essential to the success of our initiative. We have created performance indicators to measure results, inform strategy, and shine a light on what is working. Our metrics inspire us and educate us through stories and data. The dashboard indicators are designed with the intent of activating stakeholders. They focus on bellwether indicators and using accessible data sources. We're hoping that if you check out our dashboard online, you'll find at least one thing that you're interested in working on to help move the needle. And so you can see the entire dashboard online. I will say that on a micro scale, most of the pieces and parts of those celebration years in that dashboard, we've got programs and initiatives working. We have proof of concept and all of the things we want to see by 2019. And I think the reason that we're focused on scaling up and accelerating is now is the time to make these things more systematic, to make them business as usual, to turn them into our family values in a way that creates the transformation we're seeking. To that end, we did release a report from the community in 2009, charting our progress from 2009 to 2013, and you've all received a link to that report. It lives online at sustainablecleveland.org. So when we think about leveraging sustainability assets, progress, and strengths to advance our success in our community goals. So what we've done is we've really created 8 topic areas that we're focused on here. And it's really about how can we move these forward. So these are 8 topic areas that live in our climate action plan. And there's great opportunities for innovation, and there's great success to build off of. So I'm going to take a minute and just go through these today to kind of give you a good background for the rest of the work over the next 2 days. So we are charting the number of businesses that are certified sustainable through third parties. We use Global Reporting Initiative, Carbon Disclosure Progress, and Green Plus. And there are 52 certified sustainable businesses in Cleveland and Northeast Ohio already. Our economy is growing. We've had an 8.3% increase since 2009. And one of the most promising things that we see is the Cleveland 2030 District. This came out of the Net Zero Energy Working Group that formed at the 2010 summit. It's now a nonprofit that's working to establish a sustainable district in downtown Cleveland. It's a voluntary energy benchmarking and disclosure. So people who join the 2030 district put their energy data in Energy Star Portfolio Manager, and they've committed to meet district scale goals of a 50% reduction in energy use, fleet fuel use, and water use by the year 2030. So we have 16 property owners representing 19.4 million square feet of commercial space downtown who have joined. That's 55 buildings and about 24% of the commercial square footage downtown. This is tremendous progress in just a few years. And then one of the other points of progress, when we did our climate action plan, we saw that a lot of businesses and institutions have their own goals around energy efficiency and greenhouse gas emissions reduction. So one of our big questions for this summit is how can we take all of our different goals and have collective action here through Sustainable Cleveland to really move the needle on our 80% by 2050 goal for greenhouse gas emissions reduction in Cleveland. So to that end, we have a growing number of Energy Star buildings here in Cleveland and LEED certified buildings. We have 62 certified LEED buildings as of 2013, up from none in 2005. And we have businesses that are leading. This is a poster from ArcelorMittal. When you get a chance, I do encourage you to check out the posters on the curtains back there. We had businesses, organizations, and individuals from all walks of life give us images and blurbs about what they're doing to be part of Sustainable Cleveland. But ArcelorMittal is one of our local businesses that's making high-strength, low-weight steel, so helping our automobiles be much more fuel efficient than they otherwise would be. The second topic I want to talk about is advancing the people-centered development potentials of the Vital Neighborhoods movement. Who here is in the Vital Neighborhoods Working Group? Can you raise your hand? Yeah, you guys had quite a showing here today. So the Vital Neighborhoods Working Group, many of the members had been attending the summits, and they realized when they looked at who was here that we weren't reaching the average Cleveland resident as well as we wanted to be through the Sustainable Cleveland Summit and the initiative. And we know that we're more and more Clevelanders are living in green housing. This is enterprise green standard housing that happens through our green building tax abatement. And so our residents are living in green housing more and more, but they're not coming to the summit necessarily. And this working group really wanted to figure out how to reach them. We are cleaning up brownfields in neighborhoods, and we're transforming vacant land back to productive uses more and more. So this working group started in 2011 during the celebration year of energy efficiency and did a Green Year Block Energy Efficiency Challenge where they worked with block clubs and did a contest and provided prizes and awards to the one that did the most energy efficient projects. Last year in 2013 they did Skillshares, or sorry, in 2013 they did Skillshares where they had mini grants for residents to teach each other their skills. And in 2012, during the Year of Local Food, they did a local food storytelling contest. This group went to Michigan to check out their citywide potlucks that they do and has been doing an annual potluck in the park, a local food feast. The next one is coming up next weekend, and they've done 3 and they moved them to different neighborhoods. So they've had a lot of success. Last year at the summit, they started to work to design and do action planning to do mini summits. So they've done mini summits in the neighborhoods this summer, and basically they had great turnout and great success of residents coming on a Saturday. They offered free childcare and lunch, and they did mini summits based on this summit in the neighborhoods of Cleveland. We also have 3 eco-districts. We have 3 neighborhoods we work with that we think are leaders in integrating sustainability in the way that they work to develop their neighborhoods and work with their residents. So this is the Glenville neighborhood here pictured. Last year we created a climate action neighborhood toolkit to engage residents in climate action, and have done some work like these infographics to really show what your neighborhood carbon footprint is. Long story short, we received a grant to do mini grants for neighborhood-based climate action through our Climate Action Fund. And so we'll be working with 6 neighborhoods this summer to really help think about how neighborhood climate action can build off the assets of neighborhoods and address neighborhood concerns. The third topic is about leveraging renewable energy revolution for jobs and economic transition. We have a growing number of renewable energy projects here in Cuyahoga County in the city of Cleveland. LEEDCO has just finished their $4 million scope of work for the Department of Energy, and it looks as if they're going to get some additional funding to continue with some of the engineering work, and the city of Cleveland continues to support the offshore wind turbine project. What's pictured here is a barge taking soil borings for some of their geotechnical work. They did this last year. And solar. We've got some large solar projects happening within the city of Cleveland. This is on Euclid Avenue. This is the Medical Center Company's 1 megawatt solar project that they're having an open house for, and this is in your summit bag. It talks about that, and you'll hear more about that tomorrow. And this is a Cleveland Metropolitan Housing Authority's 1 megawatt solar array in the Kinsman neighborhood. Our office, the Office of Sustainability, is doing a renewable energy assessment, really trying to understand what are the top 20 locations for large solar projects here in Cleveland. We looked at vacant land, city-owned land, and very large rooftops in the city, and this will be released in a final form later this summer. And lastly, we are working with GeoStellar on creating a solar community here. So homeowners are given a promotion code, and basically this unlocks a special rate of $2.80 a watt for homeowners. This is applicable to homeowners in a 15-county area, and GeoStellar is currently recruiting installers near Cleveland. So we have a solar mojo booth back there behind the curtain. You can learn more, and I've been tinkering around on this website. It's really easy to use. You put in your address, you drag it over your rooftop, and it tells you, and you tell them what your current energy utility bill costs are, and then it very quickly calculates for you what your bill would be after going solar at your house. So I encourage you, if you're interested, to learn more. We'll be rolling this out later this fall in a grander scale, so this is sort of a sneak peek for you. Leveraging the green, clean, and economic dimensions of water. Next year is our year of clean water. This is a photo of the last time the Cuyahoga River caught fire in 1969. Those of you who are wondering why 2019, it's the 50th year anniversary of the last time the Cuyahoga River caught fire, and we expect national attention placed on Cleveland in our sustainability journey, and we want to have a really good story to tell by then. So this is our river and our lake today, definitely much improved. But we know that fresh water is one of our, if not our biggest asset here in Cleveland. And the year of clean water, we really want to ramp it up. We think water touches everyone, and there's a lot of good stuff happening. We are measuring things in our dashboard, water quality advisories, so days that beaches are closed where residents can't enjoy the beaches due to high bacteria counts. And impervious surfaces. So we're working on policies and programs to reduce paved surfaces in the city so that we can have improved stormwater infiltration and all the other benefits that you get when you take out pavement. One of the high points is the Cleveland Water Alliance. This is a group of businesses and institutions who have a stake in our freshwater future, either because they're working on it from an environmental perspective or from a business technology perspective, innovating around freshwater technologies. So the mission of the Cleveland Water Alliance is to foster economic growth related to water through education, outreach, research, development, and sound public policy. And then Drink Local, Drink Tap. This was a working group that formed at the first annual Sustainability Summit. It is its own organization now, and tomorrow morning we'll be previewing the trailer of their documentary. But Drink Local, Drink Tap has really worked with Cleveland students and Clevelanders in general and connect them to our freshwater resources. They organize beach cleanups, they work with school kids, and then they connect those folks to people in Africa who aren't as water rich as we are and have opened up a well in Africa at an orphanage where they didn't have access to clean fresh water. We also do kooky things to get people to value our freshwater resources. This is a photo of the Great Lake Erie boat float that happened just last weekend. Kathy Len from our office organizes this in partnership with the Cleveland Museum of Natural History and the Metro Parks. And basically people make boats out of recyclable materials. They have a race. There's a variety of design categories and awards. Half of them sink. It's really fun. And then they all get recycled at the end. Anybody here participate in a boat float ever? Yeah, a lot of boat floaters in the room. It's great. Benefiting from the quality of life of a walkable, bikeable, transit-friendly city. So in January of this year, we announced our Bikeway implementation plan. And this is a plan, a 4-year plan, to quickly ramp up our bicycle infrastructure in the city of Cleveland by tying it to our capital improvement budget. And so we're expecting to increase by approximately 80 miles the number of bike lane miles in the city of Cleveland by the year 2018. We have been awarded a bronze level bicycle friendly award. We know we have a long way to go, but this is an indicator of the progress we've made. And our critical mass has reached critical mass. This year, we actually got the attention through our once-a-month bike rides through the city of the Cleveland Police Department. And thankfully, we're able to figure out how to permit and get the support of public safety on this ride, which often averages more than 800 people just meeting on Public Square the last Friday of the month to ride through the city. We've put bike lanes on Detroit Avenue, on Puritas, on East 72nd, and other streets just this year, and we'll be doing more before the end of the construction season. So you might really notice a visible difference in our streets as we move forward. Oh. We have bicycle-friendly businesses here. This is Squire Sanders. They are a silver-level bicycle-friendly business, and they do all sorts of great things to support their employees bicycling to work. Who here rode a bicycle to the summit today? Nice. So more and more people are choosing cycling as a viable means of getting around, and we're really trying to get our businesses to support that, and we're also, as city government, trying to support that through infrastructure. RTA has grown for the 3rd straight year of transit ridership. About 1 million more riders overall, and the Red Line finished 2013 with the highest ridership total in 25 years. That's huge. And then we're continuing to implement our Complete and Green Streets policy. So this is a rendering of Fleet Avenue, which is broken ground, which will be our first completely reconstructed street under our Complete and Green Streets ordinance. It will focus on pedestrian walkability, bikeability, green infrastructure, and just trying to create a really vibrant street experience for the Slavic Village neighborhood. Preparing for new levels of resilience, change readiness, and responsiveness in the face of climate change. This is a biggie. As you know, we're expecting and experiencing a changing climate. More high heat days, more extreme weather, more extreme storms, potentially lower water levels in Lake Erie, and potentially warmer winters, less ice. That has a lot of issues that will happen around water quality and algae, et cetera. But most importantly, all of this really boils down to more risk and less of a good experience for most vulnerable populations. So if you think of the stressors that people experience, like food insecurity, chronic diseases like asthma or heart disease, senior citizens, people who have mobility issues, people who have live in places where there are crime and safety issues. Climate change basically exacerbates all of those other issues that people are experiencing in their lives. And so we think we have a really good opportunity to think ahead about how we can mitigate those effects. There's a correlation between high heat days and poor air quality. So one out of 8 Clevelanders has asthma. And so when you look at this correlation and you look at predicted increased level of high heat days, and knowing that there's a correlation between that and poor air quality, we think that there's some things to work around. And then, of course, we know about the urban heat island effect. So the more pavement you have, the hotter your city will be. The county released a tree canopy assessment last year, which shows that Cleveland averages about 20% tree canopy citywide, with some neighborhoods as low as 4%. So this is work that came out of the University of Michigan, where they basically layered things on a map. If you're over 65 and living alone, what your distance to the cooling influence of the lakefront is, if you're a minority, what your education and poverty levels are, and how much impervious surface is in your area. And then that layered over tree canopy. And basically they're showing that there's ways for us to design and think about opportunities to improve this. So we are going to be working this year on an urban forestry master plan with Land Studio, the City of Cleveland, Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, and Western Reserve Land Conservancy, with also help from Holden Arboretum. And we'll be doing a tree master plan for the entire city, trying to figure out how we can reduce urban heat island effect and plan ahead for high heat days and protect our vulnerable populations here in Cleveland. But the biggest part about climate resilience is community cohesiveness. Studies have shown that when you know your neighbors and you trust people who live around you, you're better prepared around any kind of hazard or high heat day, anything that could happen. And I think that really the message for our communities around preparedness, just being ready for anything around water, food, fuel, human health, and ecosystems. Advancing the opportunities to turn waste into wealth is another one of our topics. This is a picture of ArcelorMittal again, with all the steel that they recycle at their operation here in Cleveland. This is a picture of Kurt's brother. They recycle construction and demolition waste at their facility, and you'll learn more about them tomorrow. This is Upcycle St. Clair. They're using upcycling as a strategy for revitalizing the St. Clair Avenue area of the St. Clair Superior neighborhood. You'll also learn more about them tomorrow. And then Grind to Energy is a really interesting project. This comes from Emerson. They're basically using huge, high-powered disposals to allow food-based businesses to basically grind up food waste. It goes to a vacuum-sealed tank. And then Collinwood Bioenergy, one of the Quasar companies, will come, take it out, put it in their biodigester, and make green energy from that food waste. So First Energy Stadium and the food court at Tower City have this technology installed today. Rustbelt Riders. This is a group that is doing bicycle composting for residents and businesses on the near west side, and then trucks to compostable materials to community gardens to help provide good quality compost to community gardens. And residents and businesses pay a fee. They are a worker-owned cooperative, and their idea is to find a way to turn that waste into wealth. One of the most exciting things is that the city has been chosen by Curbside Value Partnership to create a social marketing campaign for residential curbside recycling. So they've worked with a lot of cities all across the nation. There's some stats up there about Baton Rouge and Greenville, North Carolina. But basically, their mission is to increase curbside recycling because nationwide it's usually less than 50% of people participating in it. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned from working with them is that we shouldn't be thinking about an educational campaign about recycling, that really it's a movement like anything else where we want it to be a change for everyone. And so this is a sneak preview, first ever, you're the first people to see this, of our One Simple Act social marketing campaign that they're helping us create this year. So the group that is working on Waste to Wealth will have an opportunity to provide feedback and help us plan around this campaign and how to roll it out citywide and even countywide. We will be premiering our Year of Zero Waste video tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for that. That's your sneak preview. And building off of our competitive advantage in the local food sector by connecting our regional assets is also one of our design topics. Earlier this year in the spring, we released a recipe for success, which is a roadmap for how do we build upon our competitive advantages in the local food sector here in Cleveland. We have done a ton of policy to support local food growers in the city, to incentivize local food purchases, and to really ramp up local food in Cleveland. And we are considered a national leader in this. And so we wanted to figure out, now that we've plucked a lot of the low-hanging and really the mid-hanging fruit in local food, what's next? So with support from the Cleveland Foundation, the Gunn Foundation, and St. Luke's Foundation, the Office of Sustainability worked with OSU Agricultural Extension and Bush Consulting to do this local food roadmap. We had a great working group and an advisory group of people all along the supply chain spectrum for local foods that really helped us do this. And they came up with 8 main interventions. But basically, in 5 years, shifting $100 million of our food purchasing would create 300 or 400 new jobs here in Northeast Ohio, or excuse me, in Cuyahoga County. So one of the interventions we hope to design around at the summit is around the idea of a regional matchmaker. So one of the things we learned is that it's nobody's job, both in the grocery stores usually, but also in the distributors, to seek out local food. So you could ask for it, but it's no one's job to go out and get it for you. And so there's a real need to actually pay someone whose job it is to be that matchmaker. And then off of that, we could have a regional food trade show to connect local producers with local processors, retailers, et cetera. One of the other recommendations is around connecting our food-based manufacturers with our food waste biodigestion cluster here in Northeast Ohio. And so one of the opportunities will also be designing around how do we connect local food with zero waste. I was on the wrong slide, but that's okay. All right, so one of the things I want to reiterate for you is that this is a summit and not a conference. And the difference between a summit and a conference is that it matters that you're here. As the mayor said, you really do make a difference, and our success depends on the individuals in this room rolling up their sleeves and really working together and helping us move the needle on sustainability. Sustainable Cleveland is about shared leadership, shared accountability, and shared success. We do track summit participants year over year. You can do the math, and we've reached more than 1,500 people over the last 5 years. So who's here today? We have high school students. If you are here from a high school, would you stand up, please? We have high school students in the room. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. We have some college students, some retirees, volunteers. We have representatives from academia, government, the for-profit sector, and others. So we have quite a diverse crowd here today. We asked you, when you registered, where will you commit to take action after the summit? And a pretty even spread between at home, at work, and in the community. We have representatives from many of our working groups here today. Working groups often form at the summit. People get so excited about what we're talking about that they want to continue to work on the topics all year long. So we have 118 people in the room who are in a working group. Ages, we have people from the spectrum, from 10 to 60 plus years of age in the room, and different levels of sustainability experience. Brand new to sustainability, been doing it 5 years or less, 6 to 10 years, or 10 plus years working in sustainability. About half of you have been to a summit before, and about half of you have never been. We have people here who've been to every summit, or at least one. If you've been to the 2009 summit, can you stand up, please? So these are our veterans. Please stand if you've been to the 2010 summit. If you've been to them all, just stay standing. 2011, 2012, 2013, All right, so those of you who have never been to a summit before, these are your veterans. You can ask them questions, and they will help you, right? All right. So I really just want to one last time focus on that this is all about us working together. And so here's a great quote from Henry Ford: "If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself." And I think that's a really important idea. And of course, I had to put a comic in there about an electric car that won't let you drive it. Really quick, thank you so much to our Stewardship Council, the advisory body that advises the mayor and our office on this initiative. I want to thank all of the volunteers that helped us set up and will help us make these next 2 days happen. Special thank you to the Fowler Center for Sustainable Value and for Ron and David for all of their work to make this happen. And I would like to thank the staff of the Office of Sustainability, who works incredibly hard every day, but in particular, even harder to help make this summit possible. If you could stand and be recognized. Matt Gray, Director of the Office of Sustainability. Anand Natarajan, Energy Manager. Kristen Hall, Sustainability Manager and EECBG Project Manager. Kathy Lenz, Sustainable Cleveland Coordinator. Felina Selden, Outreach and Education Coordinator. She might be out at registration. Michelle Harvanek, Executive Assistant. Joanne Neugebauer, our Rain Barrel Intern. And Matthew Ginn, our brand new Energy Assistant. Thank you, Matthew.